Hello, hello, my friends. Good afternoon. Happy Friday. I am happy that it's Friday. It's been a good week and it's gorgeous today. Let me put my links that you need for today. Let's say hello. When you join me, say hello, hello. There we go. All right. We're going to play a little bit today, but I'm going to give just a minute here, let people jump on. I know it's lunchtime in most places, maybe not everybody. So a couple announcements. Our early bird pricing for Word of the Year ends tonight at midnight. You can still get them, but after midnight, the price is going up. They fill up every year, so grab one if you want one. And all right, now I got all my links. Put a bunch of links up for you guys. Okay, so the Word of the Year is a really cool service. I've done it for several years. There's actually a lot of us that do something similar like this around the holidays. How I do mine is I ask Spirit for a word of the year for you specifically and personally. I do a mini reading for you, kind of what's coming up, what I feel coming up for the year, and maybe a few things. Usually a couple things comes up on where you should focus or maybe give some attention to, some energy to. And then last year we added the power animal of the year, which everyone really, really loved. Which I thought was really fun. And Angela really, she loves designing them. So my design gal, Angela, she's been working on the new animals for this year. So if you did it last year, you'll actually get a different design and different animal this year, which I also think is fun. Okay. So, price of that goes up at midnight tonight. So grab one if you want one and you want to save a little bucks. What I do for that is that is delivered to your email by New Year's Eve. I like to give them out on New Year's Eve. Sometimes they come a little earlier because it's why we start so early, because they take a lot of time, and I always have a ton of them to do, and so I usually send them out on New Year's Eve. Okay. Once in a while, I will do them early. So check your spam, your promotions, make sure you whitelist me, all that kind of good stuff. The last couple of years, though, it's been pretty good. And I have a new system this year, back-end system, that I actually think is going to help that a lot. So just so you all know, those are coming. Word of the year, always very fun. It's a great way to focus. Those that want just a little bit more kind of oomph with that, I actually have a mini mentoring package that you can also purchase. And several people usually do that every year, and it's fun. It's just like 3 sessions, and it helps to focus your year. So that is also on there. So make sure you take a peek at that. All right, there y'all come. Happy Friday. Hello, hello. All right, so also reminder, I got to open the door. I started my fire, and now it's really hot in here. My little she shed can get really hot really fast. Blech. Okay, so I also want to remind you guys, if you have not signed up under the trick or treat link, make sure you put your email and sign up there, because that's who's in the drawing for prizes. Okay, I put the link up. And we're going to do prizes next week. And one of the grand prizes is a year membership for Spirit School. Now, if you've already signed up for Spirit School and you win, then I'll just refund your money. Of course, I'll just whatever, all the new people that have signed up this month, if one of you wins, I'll just refund you. Okay. But if you have not, make sure that you sign up, because I have a lot of fun prizes that I'm going to be giving out. And I'll do that on Halloween. Okay. And Spirit School doors also close on Halloween. So if you are still considering Spirit School, you have questions about that, make sure you let me know what the questions are. Make sure you email us or reach out in some way so we can answer your questions. Okay? All right, friends. Hello, hello, hello. Original Spirit School people, if you win, also, like, I'm not going to refund you for the whole past year, but I will stop your membership payment for the year. That makes sense? That makes sense, right? Yeah. I would just pause your membership for 12 months, and then you can decide if you want to keep going or not. Okay. And Spirit School, for those of you that want to kind of tip your toes in, I have a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you try it and it's not for you, we are not holding you hostage. Okay. I don't want to hold you hostage. If you're not sure, Tina, go ahead and just re-sign up for it. Okay. And it's the trick or treats link here. I'll put it up again. I did put it up. You guys might not see it until after I'm off live though. But I'll put it up again. I'll put sign up. Oops. And we did, just when I wasn't feeling good, we did divert from my original plan. So you will see that on this page. So just know that we diverted a little bit. Okay. There we go. Sign up for prizes. There we go. That'll make it a little bit more clear. Okay, so you want to sign up for prizes. They're going to be coming out next week under the Trick or Treats link. Word of the year, price goes up at midnight. Early bird pricing stops. And Spirit School doors close on Halloween as well. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff coming and a lot of stuff going, which is good. We want the movement. And then we got all sorts of fun stuff for you guys for next week or next month and around the holidays. I really like to create some fun around the holidays. I know a lot of people struggle around the holidays. And it's also very hard for people around the holidays for some people. And last year we did some cool stuff. So I am going to do similar, maybe not quite the same. My spirit has been kicking my butt on how I do things. So I am pivoting on a few things, but it'll be good. It's always fun. Okay, so I thought we would play today. I brought some items out and I wanted to do some fun around intuition today. And I wanted to give you guys, this is kind of an example of something that we either have done or will do in Spirit School. And because one of the things that we do in Spirit School is we take some time to develop our intuition. And we also have a masterclass each month. We have a Tune In Tuesday on the third Tuesday where you guys can bring your questions to me for spirit. We have a new moon ritual that we do. But one of the things that I really like to keep front and center is developing intuition, getting to know your team, getting to know how to use your intuition, how to grow your intuition, things that you can do to raise your vibe. And one of them is practicing. Got to practice. And so I thought we would play with that a little bit today. And I brought out 5 items. And I don't want you to guess. Okay. That's what most people do is they just throw out a guess. Actually want you to tune in. So when you tune in, there's a difference between guessing and tuning in. So when you tune in, you want to be connected to the light. So just take your energy up, connected to the light, plug it in way, 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 way up into the heavens. Take your energy way, way, way down into the earth. Plug it in and ground yourself. Take a breath. A lot of times we'll teach people to get in your heart space when you're doing intuition work, because that's where intuition comes from. Doesn't necessarily come from your brain. It comes from your heart space, comes from your spirit, comes from the energy, comes from the creative part of yourself. It comes from within. It comes from spirit. And so we want to practice that. But one of the places you want to bring your attention is not so much here. You want to bring it down into your heart center. Okay, so we're going to do that first. And if you are watching the replay, play along and put your answers in. I'm going to be looking at them. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to pick my item. I can't really show you because it doesn't fit in my hand. But I'm going to have my item. I'm going to have my hand on it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, what does the vibration of what Jody is holding feel like? Like, what's it feel like? Is it slow? Is it fast? Is it edgy? Is it sharp? Is it smooth? Is it a high vibration thing? Is it a lower vibration thing? Like, first of all, what does the vibration feel like? Okay. And it's an item, it's a physical thing. So if something pops in your head that you want to share, you can go ahead and share. You can also ask yourself, what shape is it? What color is it? If my intuition was tuning in to the item that Jody has, I wonder, is a great way to play with that. I wonder what shape it is. Now, when you receive the answer, it's usually within 3 seconds. If you're thinking for 10 minutes, that's not your intuition. Your intuition is almost immediate. Okay, so you want to go with the first thing that comes to you. And you could ask, is there an emotional component to it? Like, how does it feel emotionally? Okay. You could feel, you could ask yourself, what size is it? Is it big? Is it small? Is it meaningful? Is it just something? Is it something that she uses every day? Is it something that creates happy emotions, joyful emotions, grief emotions, sad emotions, angry emotions, laughter? So just, and if you haven't asked your team, just say, okay, spirit team, what is it that Jody's holding on to? Okay, just tell me what you're getting. Here's the thing, you guys. The best psychics in the world still miss. So you don't really pay attention to the misses. You pay attention to the hits. So what kind of hits are you getting on what I'm holding? What kind of hits are you getting? See, and I'm trying to transmit what I'm holding. So you can see my body is kind of moving back and forth. And I tend to move back and forth when I do readings or when I'm letting energy kind of come in. So pay attention to your body too. Okay. Maybe you get some pictures in your mind. Maybe you hear some words. Maybe you just know. So kind of go like, what do I know? What do I hear? What do I feel? Give me a couple more answers and I'll show you what it is. Okay. So some of the things you guys said, I'm feeling water. Deborah said a book, feeling liquid, a bouncy ball, heavy to lift, but higher vibration like a crystal, pointy pyramid, white, cool, clearing selenite. Okay, so what it is, and I want to explain the hits. Okay, first of all, what do you think, like, within 3 seconds, what do you feel it is? What does it feel like to you? And I did do some challenging ones, so. Okay. Okay, so what it is, and I want to point some things out for your hits, you guys, because this is how you learn how your intuition works. Okay? So what it is my credentials from the Camino. And I want you to notice there's water. There's also a little tippy top of a church right there, the point. Okay? It also is a book. See, it's a book. Someone said a coffee mug. That's kind of a hit because we would get the stamps in them. A lot of times we got the stamps at coffee shops, like little coffee restaurant places. Let's see. There's different colors, purples, green, black. There is a little magic hat. That's one of our favorite stamps. There is, let's see what else. There's some crystal. It's like a little heart crystal, but there's a crystal on the back. Someone said selenite, and I feel like, I can't remember, but I feel like there was selenite tied into one of these stamps, and I don't remember now. I don't remember. What else did you guys have? Someone said heavy to lift, but higher vibration. And many days my feet were hard to lift. So I kind of take that as a hit too. Okay. All right. So that was our first item. That was a toughie because some of you, here's the other thing about spirit that I thought was interesting when I learned it. Spirit can only use what's in your brain. So it can really only take the information that you have in your individual brain. And many of you probably have no idea what credentials are. So I kind of started with a little bit of a trick one. Okay, I'm going to pick up my second one. So now you want to take a cleansing breath. Okay. Hand back on your heart. And what do you feel? What does the vibration feel like? What color comes to you? Does it feel like a certain shape to you? Does any sounds come to you? Does any texture come to you? Put it in the comments, friends. Does any certain emotion come to you for this one? Does any, this happens to me. It's always hard to explain. Does your body want to do any certain motion, which I'll explain, but that's kind of a funny way to say it. Because sometimes, like for example, I was doing a reading one time and I wanted to show the person, like, I was like, whoever I'm talking to bowls, and like I wanted to bowl. So sometimes my body will do different things when certain items come up. Does that make sense? It will when I explain it more. Okay, what else are you getting? What are you hearing in your head? Have you asked your team, hey team, can you help me with this game? Can you help me with this game? What's Jody holding? All right, just a couple more seconds. And again, you pay attention to the hits, not the misses. And just for fun, whenever I go to a class and we do exercises like this, I never get it. That's not true. I used to never get it. I'm a little bit better now, but these kind of games were always very tough for me. There you go. Now you guys are coming through. I think there's a little bit of a delay. All right. So we got yellow, smooth and round, crystal, pink, cleansing type crystal, black and peaceful, red, brown, smooth, wiggle hips, the easy button, yellow ball, cranberry, pyramid, long, and it feels fun. Yep. Okay. So this one's really fun. And there's lots of ways you can get hits off of this one. So what this is wolf hair from wolves that I got from the Wolf Sanctuary in Sedona last summer. And P.S. I have one spot left in Sedona retreat in February, and it's a shared room. But it's from a wolf, and the wiggle hips made me laugh because they all wiggled their hips. So I would take the wiggle hips as a thing. They were very peaceful. They had peaceful moments and they had hyper moments. It was super, super fun. Like one of my favorite things I've ever done out there. Petting them, it was incredibly smooth and soft and fluffy and lots of magic around it. It was very cleansing. Someone had said cleansing. Very cleansing. Working with wolves in person like that, it's what the woman that owns it, she called it wolf medicine. And there was a lot of transformation energy around this as well. Okay. So this is from a beautiful wolf from Sedona, which some people might have even been like, someone said rocks and like smooth rocks and things like that. Well, that's Sedona. There's lots of smooth rocks. It's orange. It's beautiful. So you might have even gotten some of that energy around it. Okay. All right. Let's see how you do on the next one. I can't show you this one. All right. So clear your energy. Hands on your hearts. Bring your energy to your heart space. What color comes to you? Put it in the comments. Oh, and one of the things, your hand might have wanted to pet the wolf because we got to pet the wolves and we got to sit with the wolves. So I wondered if anyone's hand was kind of moving like they were petting something. Okay. Okay. So new one. What color could it be? Does it feel soft? Does it feel hard? Does it feel jagged? Does it feel squishy? What does it feel like? What emotion do you feel around it? What message do you feel around it? How does your body feel? Is your body wanting you to do anything or show you anything? Ask your team. If this particular, how do I want to say that? If this particular item wanted to give me a message, what would it be? Mm-hmm. Good job, you guys. Okay, what do you think it is? What comes to you? What comes to you? Ask your guides and angels. Tell them to show you a shape or give you a picture of what it is. What does it sound like? It's tough to do these online. Okay. So what it is, this weekend is the anniversary of having to put our kitty down. And so this is the little box that they gave me to hold Charlie in. So a lot of you know our orange cat, Charlie. Okay. And he wanted to play today. Like I was like, oh, that's kind of weird to bring you on. And he's like, nope, it isn't. So Charlie wanted to play today. So it's my big chunky guy, Charlie. And on the top, it says, until we meet again at the Rainbow Bridge, which I always use rainbows. It's got little paw prints on it. It's got the leaves that are kind of bumpy on there. So if you got bumpy, there's a little name tag on the bottom with orange and white. And there is some pink on there that you could maybe call red. I would take that. Okay. He was very powerful. He came in and he was really funny when we first got him. And he was crazy. But he loved to work in the she shed, and he did lots and lots and lots of client work with me, and he loved to help me clear homes. He also loved meditation. And so trust me, it makes complete sense. Grounding myself makes complete sense. Relaxing. Oh, let me get rid of this spammy guy. Hold on, friends. Feathers make sense because we find feathers all over the place. And he used to be a good hunter. And so that makes total sense. He loved to play with our fish tank. So even the dolphin makes sense. So Charlie is definitely here to play. Tony said, I'm working on a project, so not totally present, but right away I got tears. Made me laugh, but that was a hit. Yeah, it was a hit. Yeah, it was awful to lose him. Awful. It was worse. Shouldn't say this, but it was worse to lose that cat than it was when my dad passed. Because it was like, family cat, and it was our first pet and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, it was really hard weekend. So I think he wanted to shift the vibration around that a little bit. But yep, lots of tears. We had lots of tears when Charlie left. Okay, we're going to do one more. So Charlie might want to stay and help, so you don't have to wipe him away. He might want to help you. So some of you might have felt heat by your ankles. You might have wanted to pet him. You might have heard him purring or meowing. You might have gotten heaviness on you because he loved to sit on my lap when I meditated. He loved the heat. He loved sitting by the furnace. So if some of those things kind of crossed your mind, that might be. Okay, we're going to do one more. So tune in. Really pay attention to how your body feels when I hold my hand up for this one, because it might tell you a lot. Okay, so last one. What do you think I'm holding on to? What color is it? What shape is it? What kind of words come to mind? Is there a message with it? Is there a certain vibration, a high vibration? The cool thing is about intuition, maybe I'll do this next week, is every emotion holds a different vibration. So I'll talk about that next week. But we work on that in intuition class because you got to recognize it. Okay, so what's coming to mind with what I'm holding on to? Color, shape. Does it feel hard? Does it feel easy? Does it feel emotional? Is there a message that comes to you? We do a lot of this kind of fun work at my fall retreat too. I have a brand new place next year, so some details will be coming up on my fall retreat, but we do some of this intuition work at my retreat. And it's fun to do it in person. I will admit that. I think it's easier when you're first starting out to work in a group in person. But we don't always have access to that. So then we learn other ways. Okay, what's coming to you guys? Where's your comments? Bring them in. I can't show you till I see a few comments. What else is coming to you? It also is often easier for some people. Like for me, it's much easier for me to tune in to emotional things. The solid items, those ones were a lot harder for me to start to get what they were. So if you're not getting these, don't be too heartbroken about it. It takes some time. Okay. All right. So what I'm holding in my hand, I want you to pay attention to how your body feels. $20 bill. So often around money, it's never about the money. It's about the stories and the energy and the emotional piece you have around the money. That's why I wanted you guys to kind of pay attention to how you felt on this one. So someone just said like faith and brave. Got to have a little faith. Got to be a little brave, right? This is a little bit yellowed. Someone said yellow. It would make sense. The guess of wood because it's paper. It's made out of trees. So you could justify that one for sure. But holding different amounts of money in your hand is something I love to do at my retreat when people have stuff around money. So I usually will have like $1 or a $5 bill or a $20 bill, $100 bill. And you can literally see people. I handed a $100 bill to a girl one time and she literally almost threw up because she had so much energy around not having enough, keeping it away, not being open to receive. She had a lot of fear around money, a lot of that kind of stuff. And so it's fun for a little intuition game at home. Line them up on the table, 1, 5, 10, and 20s, 50s, and 100. And feel each denomination to see what it does to your body, to see what messages, to see how you feel around it. And then if some shit comes up, you want to journal it and burn it. Like, oh, like I can hold on to a $1 bill super easy, but as soon as I touch the $100 bill, like I feel sick to myself. I wonder why. And then start to go into that a little bit because it will help you move through some of your money stories. And so when you work on intuition and you work on some of this stuff, it's teaching you about your energy around certain things. Does that make sense? So we play these games for a bunch of different reasons because number one, I want you to practice the intuition piece for sure, but I also want you to pay attention to how it comes to you. And again, doing it online, it is a little bit more difficult, but it's doable and you can get better at it. Another really fun intuition game, if you just want to practice, is you get a deck of cards, like just normal playing cards. And then you put them upside down and just start to tune in to what the number is or what is it hearts? Is it queens? Is it spades? And that's a great intuition game. Okay. You can also use oracle cards and different things. Like I have a million different games that I play when I'm practicing my intuition stuff because it takes some practice. People get really irritated with themselves so quickly. And I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for years and I'm still practicing. And the more you practice, the more you start to recognize things. And like I said, I'll do a little bit of this next week too. But one of the things that I started paying attention to is when I'm happy, where does my vibration, where do I feel that? If I'm sad, where do I feel that? And what's the difference between happy and sad? What's the difference between someone who's maybe sick with the flu versus someone who's super healthy? Like there's such different vibrations. And so I've learned to tune into the different vibrations over the years. I know what breast cancer feels like in somebody's body if they've had it before and maybe it's something they're walking through. Like I can recognize that. I can recognize if someone broke their arm. I can feel the vibration of the break. I can recognize if someone's had COVID. I can really recognize that COVID's a really sticky tar-like energy to me. So I can recognize that. I can really recognize joy in people. Like if they're really joyful and they really love life, like that's so fun to tune into. I can tune in if people are mediums. I usually can recognize that. Or if I met a woman on the Camino and I was like, oh, I was like, it's interesting. I said, your guides and like your team is a bunch of bugs. Like she has bugs. And she kind of looked at me and she's like, how do you know that? I'm like, I can see them. Like I can recognize the energy of them. And they're lovely bugs. But a lot of people will have animals on their spirit team or different things. So you want to start paying attention to some of the different vibrations as you feel them or as you experience them yourself, because that's how your spirit's talking to you. Does that make sense, you guys? Because those are the kinds of things that I started paying attention to. When someone's telling me a story, I'm like, oh, how does that feel? What does that energy feel like? What does that energy feel like? And I will ask people if it makes sense, because I want to make sure I'm on the right path, right? Because if I say something and I'm like, ooh, nope, that's not it. Nope, never mind. That's just helping me get to where I need to be. So there's definitely times where I'm like, wow, that is so off. Like that is not right. But I can recognize my right from my wrong answers. And it doesn't matter that they're wrong. It's just, I can recognize like, oh, no, that's not right. So you want to start to pay attention to some of that stuff. And that's a lot of the work we do in Spirit School too. So if you're someone that wants to develop some of that, each month we have a different thing that we practice and that I teach a class on, because that's a big piece why people join Spirit School is they want to expand their spirit and their intuition. So we do some work on that piece. Okay. So like Monday night, if you join over the weekend, if you join today or over the weekend, Monday night, the first class that we're having next week is we're going to do a class on witch wounds within Spirit School. So if you're someone that kind of connects with that witch wound energy and you're like, ooh, what's that? You might want to check out Spirit School because we're going to do some healing and some processing and some learning around your witch wounds. We actually had some really cool experiences on the Camino with that. And I usually do try to do some kind of a witch wound class in Spirit School each year. So if that's something that interests you, get your butt into Spirit School over the weekend. Okay. All right, my friends, I have to go back to work. I hope you have a great Friday. I do believe I'm going to be here Monday at noon. If that changes, I will put a note on my wall. But word of the year price goes up at midnight tonight. Spirit School, Witch Wound class on Monday. And the doors close for this season next week on Halloween. And then also make sure you sign up for the trick and treats. Put your emails in there so you guys are included for the prize drawings next week on Halloween. Okay? All right, friends. Have a great Friday. I will talk to you soon. Enjoy your weekends. Bye, guys.